Hi everyone, my name is Antony Cummins, I'm a historical researcher and author, and today we're going to carry on with true ninjutsu. Now we're working from samurai and ninja, and we're getting our information from the early 1600s, but it's based on late 1500s information from a man called Ogasawara Sensei. Now, today we're going to talk about secret communication. Now if you've been keeping up with my videos and my series, then basically secret communication is coded messages, messages attached to arrows, some way to talk to someone else without mainly other people knowing. However, in this case, we're talking about secret communication with the enemy. Now, I'm going to mix in a few different things here. Now, in Natori Ryu, which is Book of Samurai, in the series, it talks about how to deal with men inside your castle, and it says you have to rotate the men. Like for example, this troop, like troop 4, will look after this area of the castle, troop 5 will look after that area of the castle, but what you do is on a certain day or a certain system you rotate them all. So you say, right, troop 4 move over one, troop 3 move over one, troop 2 move over one, and everybody changes parts of the castle. Now Isui Sensei, that's Natori Masazumi, tells us this because the enemy will try to secretly communicate with those samurai and bribe them. And Ogasawara Sensei has an excellent example of this, and he's saying that there's an area, a gate or an area of the castle where one of these samurai is actually looking after that area. But of course the Lord has not been moving them around, so the enemy has been testing the water. And what happens is the enemy get an arrow. Now these arrows normally have no arrowheads on, and they normally have a message tied to them. So imagine one of his men have crept up, most likely a shinobi. He's put the arrow onto the bow, and he's pulled it back, and it's gone in, clattered on the floor, or and stuck down. Big white feathers. Everybody can sort of see it, but it's inside that troop. Somebody picks it up, it'll be sealed, they'll take it to the commander. The commander will go back to behind his wall curtains or tent or whatever he's doing, and he'll break the seal, and he reads it, and he says, okay, the enemy have offered me 20,000 gold or whatever, the enemy have said this, right, alright then, sorted. Some commanders will say, okay then, send an arrow back. And okay, let's do it. And that's how people infiltrate or break through sieges, because sieges of course are difficult to break, so that's how they do them, by offering for people to turn, which happens in you can see this in lots of Japanese history. So what happens next is the commander who's received it writes a letter back saying, yes, okay, I accept your offer. On this day at this time at night we will open the gates, you guys come in and you can take the castle, the walls will be breached because you'll be in through the gate, and off you go. Obviously safe conduct for our men, we want our money. Okay, so he sent it back. And they then make an action of like, okay, they've arranged it. But the commander is loyal because he's a generational retainer, which means, and it's actually in this story he's a 3rd generation retainer, which means his family have been there for 3 generations. Now he goes to his lord and says, Lord, I have just received this arrow with this message saying I should defect. They will, give me X. But of course I am loyal to you, you're my lord. I have sent back confirming to the enemy that we will open the gate, but please, if you feel it necessary, replace my men at this gate if you do not trust me. To which the Lord says, what a brave and honourable samurai you are. Thank you for giving me this. And he says, no, you may continue to guard the gate, because he says, if such loyal retainers as you turn on me, then it's the end of my luck anyway, and it's only a matter of time before I'm defeated. So, he says, go back and do it. So in the day, they go back and they construct, so imagine you've got the gateway, right? And inside the gateway, they construct false walls with bamboo, and they weave in bamboo, and it's very strong structured. That's bamboo you use for scaffolding, like a scaffolding frame if you like. And they set up, obviously they've put bundles against it, and they've set up musketeers through the holes, archers, probably torches to throw in. And what happens is, on the night, they crack the gates open, obviously somebody runs out, gets out of the way, and they all come in, 200 or 300 or whatever the number is, bang, they're in, they go with their muskets in hand, the arrows ready, and they come in, next thing, boom, 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 they're getting peppered by archers on top, bang, 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 and they shut the doors behind them, and It always makes me wonder, how do the people get up when they should have? I presume there's a ladder waiting for them, rope ladder, and they've pulled them up. What do you think? And then basically they kill everyone in there, and obviously it got the weapons, throw away the dead, blah blah. They've just got 100, 200 heads away and took a force of 200 out of the enemy. Now, the thing here is that the shinobi there were terrible. That was a really bad shinobi action because A, they sent a letter to a generational retainer. He's never going to betray his lord, or very, very unlikely. And second is, they didn't have shinobi in the camp to warn them that actually they were building this fence, and they didn't have shinobi observing from a height or anything like that. So, that is bad tactics on the attacking force. That is an example of bad strategy, okay? But it's an example of excellent and loyal service and good tactics from the besieging, from the besieged side. Okay, guys? So there you go. Right, everyone, what did you think about that? If you were the shinobi, what would you have looked for? If you were the general, what type of things would you have put in place? Or if you're the besieging general, what type of things would you have done to try and turn those on the inside? Let me know your comments below.